What's up, guys? It's Matters. We have more Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies leaked information, and in this video we have another possible leaked map for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. Now this one you guys have definitely heard of. It's been around in the community for such a long time, and I think it was supposed to be back in like the Black Ops 1 days realistically. So it's insane that this is coming up now, and it's insane that we may possibly actually get, obviously if you saw in the title, a Paris map for Black Ops 3 Zombies. Now the thing is, we actually have an interview, several interviews that MrRoflWaffles and Mr. Doc JD, I'm pretty sure both of them did with Jason Blundell, the actual like Zombies lead director for Black Ops 3. And what he did was he sort of hinted a ton of weird stuff that they later decoded, and they were talking about basically a whole sort of day they had with Jason Blundell. That part wasn't recorded, and you know, there was a video, I'll leave a link in the description, and they were talking about, okay, well, you know, this was from Gamescom, blah blah blah, and basically what we did was we were spending the last couple of days talking to Jason Blundell, staying up with him till 4 o'clock in the morning, just talking about some crazy stuff, everything zombies. Obviously he wasn't necessarily able to leak any specific stuff. Obviously he is the Zombies director, he doesn't want to leak it. I think he's going to be good enough and like smart enough to know not to really say anything he shouldn't say. But he put a weird emphasis on something, and this was tweeted back a while ago. This was something that was sort of in like MrRoflWaffles like mentions and stuff like that. It wasn't really like known or popular or anything, but this was definitely something that was hinted at. They were basically talking about the old World at War map packs. If you guys didn't know, World at War maps, you have Nocturne Totem, that's the base map, and then you go into maps like Verrucht, Shinonuma, Deriz, and just stuff like that. And the problem was they were actually supposed to have a couple more maps, and that was translated into Black Ops 1. So those couple extra maps they were supposed to give out for the DLCs were in fact Totem, Call of the Dead, Moon, and then Paris, which is really, really interesting. Now, the thing that really confuses me is that I thought Moon was sort of a replacement for Paris. I remember back in the day when everyone was like, oh yeah, you know, we were supposed to have Paris, but instead we got Moon. Was Moon going to be better than Paris was? You know, people have been debating for years now. It sort of is really slowed down in light of, you know, Black Ops 3. Everyone's focusing on that game. But people were always talking about, you know, Paris. What would have been like to, you know, play Paris, you know? Or play in Paris, or we just kill zombies in Paris, whatever you want to call that. But the thing is, I thought it was a replacement, like I said, but apparently it wasn't. Apparently they were intending another map to be Paris on top of Moon. And Paris never, I guess, made the cut for Black Ops 1, because obviously Moon was the last map pack, and then that's that. So you would think it would be translated to Black Ops 2. Now, obviously not, because you had Transit, Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, Buried, Origins, no signs of Paris, really. Origins the closest area to Paris, I would think. Other than that, nothing really else was hinted. But again, the reason we're talking about this is because they made a big sort of emphasis on talking about all that happening, and you know, maybe thoughts of it returning, what it would be like to, you know, be a Paris map, you know, in Black Ops 3 and stuff like that. And when they were asking Jason Blundell all of these really weird questions, obviously they didn't necessarily say like, oh, you know, will there be a Paris map in Black Ops 3? There's no way they actually said that, but they were sort of hinting at. They were hinting at a lot of stuff. They were hinting about the forest map, a ton of weird stuff like that, because that sort of was under the wraps at that time. But when he sort of answered, you know, when you have a question faced, just put your like shoes on as a developer or something. Just pretend you're a developer, and when you're asked a question like, oh, is this going to be in the game? And you're just like, I know the answer, but I don't want to tell him because I'm not allowed to, or I don't want to leak it. And he gave this really awkward, like, series of answers, and basically MrRoflWaffles was saying, you know, when off camera he was hanging out with Jason Blundell, he was talking and all this stuff. It was really weird sometimes when we were saying stuff, and he really just, like, zoned out of it, or just, like, ignored it to some extent, and, like, backtracked it, like a different, like, counter question or something like that. It was really weird. But he did make an emphasis on it. The video in the description is just like one of the actual videos where he sort of mentions that, and it's just some at random. I forgot. I was watching it last night, but I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I should talk about this. But he's been saying it for a while now. It's been pretty weird, and if you've ever seen a like interview with Jason Blundell, pay attention to the questions and how he responds to them, because if he's really awkward, really silent, usually it's something that he knows the question, and the question probably is true of what they're asking about zombies in particular, because usually we're asking really crazy secret stuff about zombies, obviously to Jason Blundell. So just keep an eye out. It's definitely going to be interesting. I just wanted to make this video because the Paris map definitely was leaked in these interviews by Jason Blundell, you know, from his own words. It wasn't word for word, obviously, oh, there's going to be a Paris map in Black Ops 3. Because if that was the case, it would be confirmed. That's why it's leaked. We're not so sure yet, and the only real thing we have is the series of interviews and basically what we heard from MrRoflWaffles talking about that stuff, the awkward answers, everything like that. This is sort of, again, a beginning to what we might see for Black Ops 3. So I'm not going to do any other Paris videos until we actually get some more information. This is sort of the first, like, silver lining little piece of information we've seen so far. I think it's pretty good. It's not some random, like, image or anything. Obviously, those sometimes are pretty credible, but this is actually from Jason Blundell, from the interviews. A pretty credible source there. So, you know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. Tell me guys what you think about a Paris map returning in Black Ops 3. I think it would be pretty sick. Paris is an insane area to go to. I might do another video debunking why it won't happen. There's a few reasons I had, but I just wanted to do the video first to actually leak it and to make sure people understand that it may happen based on these interviews and based on MrRoflWaffles' experiences with Jason Blundell and all that crazy stuff. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.